Well, friends, today was a maintenance day. I finally discovered the cause of the faint popping noise during low speed turns and decided that it was time to replace the pivot bushings in my Earls style leading link front end on my Honda Africa Twin sidecar rig. This is a unique custom front end built as a favor by a true craftsman, Mr. Chuck Lofton at Adventure Custom Adventure Hacks LLC up in Eugene, Oregon. The swingarm bushings made it a little over 32,000 miles of mostly dirt roads and two-track trails around southern New Mexico. I felt the service life was pretty fair, all things considered. The front end is a beast, constructed from 8 millimeter wall thickness drawn over mandrel tubing, 57 millimeters in diameter. It gives the rig a robust handling experience. The swingarm pivots were designed and built by a consortium of aerospace engineers to my specifications, with the goal of being both shock resistant and serviceable with precise steering. Let's see how the serviceability goes. Yeah, that is a 5/8 inch grade 8 bolt used as an axle for each of the two pivot points. Here I'm using a 6-inch C-clamp as a poor man's bearing press, a 13 millimeter socket to push with, and a 27 millimeter socket as a backing cavity to push into. This worked fine after a little fiddling with alignment. No bad language was captured in the making of this video. The sleeve bushing shown being extracted here was originally spec'd to be a pair of shoulder bushings, but I had trouble sourcing the shoulder bushings at the last minute on the way to fab up the front end. So a one-piece copper iron sleeve bushing was selected with a pair of bronze thrust washers, one on each side. I ordered an extra set, so that's what's going in today. The next set will be the original design, two shoulder bushings, and maybe another couple years of riding. We'll see. The bushings going in are too long. The length difference is exactly the thickness of the shoulders on the future pair of shoulder bushings, two per pivot. For today, we will use a very high-tech bushing trimmer to make the adjustment in length. make sure that the grease hole in the bushing lines up with the pivot end assembly hole that the grease fitting feeds grease in from. See, I told you there would be some high-tech bushing trimming going on here. Regarding serviceability alongside the road, if life deals me the particular shit sandwich of having to do this in a Motel 6 parking lot, let's say in Wilcox, Arizona, I am pretty sure I could source off the shelf bronze bushings from the local Ace Hardware store and trim them to fit with the hacksaw blade that lives in my toolkit. A lot of the fiddling around at this stage is getting the bronze thrust washers lined up between the steel bushing holders and the swing arm tabs that they ride on. This will go away with the next set of bushings that will have integrated thrust shoulders instead of needing separate thrust washers to handle the twisting side loads of the pivots. But for today, a little bit of fiddling saves chasing down some shoulder bushings. What's going on here is me setting the clamping tension against the thrust washers by snugging down the pivot bolts just right. They have nylock nuts, so they seem to stay at about the tension I choose for them long term. Haven't had one back out yet, anyway. Here I'm reinstalling the grease fittings and then charging the system up with plenty of red moly grease. And of course, you can never have too many zip ties. And voila, all the slop is gone from the front end. Finished up with a little bit of daylight left. Overall, the entire festivities took about 2 hours with some messing around and a lot of goofing off in between. But hey, since it's still nice and sunny, I think it's time for a sunset ride. I'm going to drop a link into the description to that ride if you want to come with me in the sidecar. I'm going to go run around Skunk Hollow and find some dirt roads. Stay safe and have a great time.